I really don't like animal abuse because I think that I just think that animal abuse is so horrible because the animals have been put on the planet and now we're like destroying them. And when they go extinct, they can't come back.
I agree. So, you've already told me what you think of animals. So, people who abuse animals and animal abuse, what's your thoughts on that?
I think, yeah.
I agree with that.
I think that they're like really selfish because they're using animals for their own like benefit.
Okay. Did you see on the news yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it, down in Derry/Londonderry, whatever you want to call it, a guy beat his dog with a breeze block and then he tried to bury it alive. What do you think of somebody who does something like that?
They're terrible.
That's just cruel. They must have something wrong with him.
Yeah, he got arrested this morning for it. So, one more question. It's a harder one. No judgment with it. What about the animals we take into slaughterhouses? We hang them upside down, we shoot them in the head, cut their throat.
I think that, to be fair, meat's nice.
Yeah.
But I think that
Not dog meat.
I think that
I'm not here to judge you, by the way. So
I think it should be less. But I think it should still like I think cows obviously are like really nice food, but I think there should be less of it.
yeah.
And like older cows that are going to die anyway.
So, open disclosure point, now I'm a vegan animal rights activist, so I not only talk to people and go into schools and stuff, I go on to farms and stuff and see how the animals are treated, and I've been in slaughterhouses as well. Even if it's less, like we kill, do you know how many animals we kill every year?
Right.
There's 8 billion humans on the planet. Do you know how many animals we kill every year for food?
I'd say 10.
76 billion and 3 trillion fish. But even if you bring that figure down in half or quarter it, if you're the individual animal, if you're the victim that's been taken into a slaughterhouse and shot in the head and having your throat cut, it makes no difference to you whether 500 or 500 million or 5 billion animals are being killed every year. If you're looking at it from the victim's perspective, what do you think of that?
I think all of it's bad. I think that it should be like.
You smell bad.
I think no one asked.
Okay. So can I tell you one thing that we do to animals in this country that people do not know? Because people do not know what happened in the industries, and I've been there. I've been to the slaughterhouses and watched it. So pigs, for example.
Why would you watch that?
Because I'm an animal rights activist and I want to help.
Why would you watch
vegan?
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to watch it. It destroys my soul.
I love animals, but I cannot be vegan.
Why not?
My sister's vegan. I love juicy meat.
I loved it too. I loved it too. But let me ask you a question, and then let me tell you what I was going to tell you. What's more important to you? Taste. A slight taste difference on animal's life. What's more important?
Ooh, if you killed an animal, you might as well just kill her.
Does that question make sense to you? Yeah. So you can buy, say you like steak, for example, you can buy vegan steak and vegan chicken and vegan ice cream.
That's a wee bit funky because it's not literal like steak. It's like
it's just made of plants. It's made of plants. Yeah. Some of it made of soy, some of it's made of corn, some of it's made of textured vegetable protein.
I think that like.
Why would you want to eat soy?
I just think the whole animal killing itself is like really bad, and like I think that people would be a lot healthier as well if like they weren't eating a lot of this like red meat.
Stream on YouTube?
No, not live.
I don't eat red meat. It's
So
gross.
let me tell you, I haven't eaten an animal product since I was 19. I'm 56 now. So you can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet.
I thought you were like.
But let me tell you one thing: pigs, super intelligent any far smarter than any of you got dogs?
Yeah, I love dogs.
Yeah, I have a dog too.
I've a dog.
I love him. He's my companion, and I love him dearly.
And you realise something? See the way he's not been eating meat. That's why he looks so young.
I don't say I think I look that young, but so pigs are more intelligent than dogs. They're super smart. So when they arrive at a slaughterhouse, they know exactly what's going to happen. They're terrified from the minute they arrive on a truck. Do you know what we do to them when they go inside the slaughterhouse? Do you know how we kill them?
Do you not like? Do you just skin them alive?
We put them. Let me tell you. There's 2 concentration camp slaughterhouses in Northern Ireland for pigs. There's one in Ballymena called Cranswick and one in Cookstown called Carroll Foods. Would you be surprised to find out that we put them in gas chambers?
Oh, that's horrible. If anything, the gas will be going in them, but then you're going to eat them.
Well, no, because it's carbon dioxide, so it's like suffocation. It's like taking oxygen away.
Yeah.
So they're put into it's like a gondola the size of that monument with cages in it. They put 3 or 4 in at a time, and they drop them down into a gas chamber. You should hear those animals screaming, because I've been there and stood right beside it. It is fucking Horrific.
I don't want to hear.
I know, but do you not think it's worth thinking about when you're... No?
It is, but at the same time,
I mean, it's worth
one person turning vegan is not going to change like them. Like obviously, it's going to reduce the amount bought,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, people are still going to do it.
I get you. Right, so the average person...
can make a difference, but not that much.
Yeah, well, I can make a difference. I'm out talking to
You
people
make a
all.
difference.
I'm talking to people all the time, and people do change. And every person that changes is 150 less animals. You eat roughly, on average, 150 animals a year.
To be honest, I don't really like steak or anything like that, so the only meat I really eat is chicken.
That's not me.
Plus, the other thing is, everybody else might still be doing it. There's people still being racist, but you wouldn't be racist.
No.
There's people abusing children, but you wouldn't abuse a child. There's people literally kicking dogs and cats and stuff. You wouldn't do that either. So
love my doggies.
so
My dog's
so
my doggies.
why should you be part of something that you think's absolutely horrible and
And
disgusting?
see, if everyone took the stance of, oh well, I'm not going to make a difference, then no
Yeah.
one would do it. But if everyone
Yeah.
if everyone was like, oh yeah, I'm going to change.
But everyone says one person makes a difference. That fair enough. Like that's understandable, but not like a massive difference. Yeah, they can make a slight difference, and that slight difference would be quite a big difference, but not a big difference because of like all the stuff that's actually happening.
Well, I know, but it's a grassroots change. What I'm looking for. So. 4 or 5 years ago, there was 600,000 vegans in the UK. There's now 3.5 million or more. So that's a big change in a population of 76 million people. So as more and more people go vegan and more people come onto the street and tell you things that are happening to animals, then more and more people are going to, I think it'll become socially unacceptable to pay for those things. Because the judgmental part of it, and I'm not judging you guys for eating it, because I ate it a long time as well, or wearing leather or whatever. The judgmental part is when you buy the product, you're literally paying somebody to do something animal that you would never ever do yourself.
Yeah,
That makes sense?
You are big brains. Like,
that's very smart.
I'm not big brains at all. I'm not well educated. But does that make sense to any of that?
Yeah.
Like even the dairy industry's cruel.
I'm a vegan. Oh, I'm not vegan. I'll be vegetarian, but I'm drinking dairy.
And you know what
Let me tell you how cruel it is in 30 seconds. Have you got like one more? Go ahead.
But to be fair, see, like when the
I eat
world
fish fingers.
started,
Yeah.
Fish fingers.
it was instinct for them to go and kill.
Survival, but I mean everybody in this street
And
here
now
right
it's
now
probably
doesn't
just,
have
like,
to.
It
You
just
can,
came from then, and it's
Yeah.
like it would be hard to like reverse that.
yeah, but people wars and murdering and raping
Yes,
since the start.
Animals are just important as humans, because you wouldn't sit and kill a human for food, because they're both equally important. Because if you didn't have animals, you wouldn't have like all the stuff in the world like.
I agree.
that you
And
live off.
yeah, I agree. We take advantage of them, and to me, every life's equally valuable to the one that's living it. So the animal values its life, or their life, sorry, as much as you value yours. Let me tell you about the dairy industry before you go. If you got like 1 minute, I loved it too.
I still do.
So cows don't just give milk; they're mammals like a human.
God can give milk, but they
Yeah,
can't. But they don't.
no, they can't. So they're mammals. So like a human, when's the only time a human female produces milk?
Wouldn't you produce another child back?
Yeah. So the farmers forcibly impregnate them. They put them in a thing called a rape rack. They forcibly impregnate them. So they get semen in a big tube and they put their fist down inside them and they make them pregnant. She's pregnant 9 months. And she gives birth exactly like a human. And maternal instinct in mother cows is exactly the same as it would be in your mum.
Yeah.
When the calves are born, 50% boys, 50% girls. Boys don't produce milk.
They
in the
get
dairy.
killed, don't they?
Yeah, they're killed straight away, most of them. Set in the ground and shot in the head. Or some farmers will get a spade or a shovel and just bang them over the head.
My sister,
Blunt force trauma is called, it's completely
I don't
legal.
mean in a fancy way, but she's like a real hippie.
Yeah.
And she
Who's a hippie?
she showed me a video when I was like younger, and it's like they tie. I don't know if this happens all the time, but they tied its arms and legs to change, and they just like put the chains back and back, and it just.
That's probably somebody being deliberately cruel, but I mean, I hate that too. That's
Why do
bad.
you
But
find that amusing?
the standard, I know it's fucked up, but the standard practices are fucked up. Those boys, most of them are killed on the day they're born, or some of them are sold in the food industry. So if you go to Ballymena Market on a Friday morning, they have a dropped calf market. A dropped calf is a bull calf in the dairy industry. They don't produce good meat, so they sell them to the veal industry. They get shipped across to Belgium and the Netherlands, and they stand in a veal pen in darkness with a chain around their neck for 16 or 18 weeks. And guess what happens to them?
They suffocate.
No, they don't suffocate. They keep them in darkness, and so they can't move, so their muscles don't develop and they
They
don't
just like die.
tender meat, veal, if you've heard of it. Yeah. And then somebody brings them out of that pen and puts a knife in their throat. So I don't think dairy products are worth that when you can just drink oat milk in your coffee instead, or put coconut milk in your cereal. How is that even worth it? What do you think of that?
I don't drink milk.
Have you ever tried any of the plant-based milks?
Yeah, I've tried almond milk.
Yeah.
People think it's hard.
I like it.
What's that?
I like almond milk.
Yeah, they're all, I mean, you will. There's like 12
But I
different
don't like milk.
different types.
For everything.
Yeah, that's
So-
it. And they're pretty much the same price.
Yeah.
The only difference in price is an animal doesn't pay the price of losing its life and suffering terribly. So that's my thoughts anyway. What do you think of all that we're thinking about?
I'm not wearing it.
I think it's all true, but like I think if everyone went vegan, then I think would they stop? Like there wouldn't be a need for it, so would they stop?
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, I don't really blame farmers, because farmers will supply what people buy.
Yeah.
So as long as people buy the products, farmers will do dairy milk or they'll have beef cows. If people stop buying those things and it's not financially viable anymore, farmers will grow plants instead. And like, we're growing enough crops to feed 76 billion animals every year, and there's only 8 billion humans. So we can easily feed the entire population of the planet on plants easily, and the animals don't need to be part of that at all. We could just leave the animals alone and stop breeding them into existence and stop throwing them in gas chambers and sticking knives in their throat and all the horrible things we do to them. Completely unnecessary.
Because it's like, imagine if it was switched and all the animals were like against us. Like,
That's why I said, victim's perspective, how would you feel if it was you being put onto a truck and taken to a gas chamber? The one and only day you ever see the sunshine, or you feel the wind in your face, is the day you're forced onto a truck and taken to somewhere where somebody puts you in a gas chamber. I mean, that's fucking terrible for really intelligent animals. And if it was dogs, people would be up in arms about it, and there'd be hundreds of people on the street. Can I give you a wee card before you go? Yeah. 1 wee sec. I'll give you one, you can share it with the rest or whoever's interested. So that's my YouTube here.
yeah.
These are wee things to watch, like Cowspiracy, Seaspiracy, show you the damage to the planet. The one I'm going to ask you to watch for is it the best speech you'll ever hear, free to watch on YouTube. It's a guy called Gary Orofsky, if you remember that name. It might be written on the back. But to give you one of my ear cards. Worth thinking about or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to be worth thinking about.
Can I have one?
Yeah, of course you can.
It sounds really like
Thank you so much.
like a rational decision, but I'm like
My
a vegan.
YouTube's at the bottom there.
Thank you.
What's that say?
It sounds like a rational decision, but I'm like a vegan. I'll probably.
I went vegan overnight. So it
Yeah.
can be done, and I'm not saying you should do that. You can do some looking into food and stuff, but there's alternatives.
Oh, I'm an individual.
See if you go into Tesco's now and look for the vegan sections, there's alternatives for absolutely everything. You know, you can buy vegan burgers, ice cream, chocolate, pizzas, lasagna. You know, Little Wing around the corner here, full vegan menu. McDonald's have a McPlant, KFC have vegan chicken. Try the vegan chicken in KFC, you like chicken. Tastes exactly the same.
It's debatable, but okay. I take your word for it.
But I
Well,
think that-
let me ask you again, even if it's a little bit different, is it worth having a chicken hung upside down? Chickens are hung upside down, they're dipped into a bath of an electric current, and then their throats are cut. It's really terrible. Try the vegan one.
I will.
Right, cool. What's your names again? Tell me all your names again.
Connie.
Catherine. Ariana. Cora.
Cool, what's your name?
Bougie.
Thank you so much for stopping. You've all got a card. Give it some thought and watch that wee speech sometime.
Follow you on Instagram now.
Yeah.
Well, probably YouTube's better. You'll see all my videos. I'm out here all the time talking to
Follow you on
people.
Instagram, give you an
Get the updates. Right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Have a nice day. See you there. You all going different ways.